What's up everybody, thanks for watching Car Inside. Been a long time since we've done one of these videos. Drag it out of the closet here, and if all goes well, maybe we'll rejuvenate this part of the channel and start doing some more qualifying breakdowns. But nonetheless, here we are running the Martin Truex Jr. paint scheme, honoring him as he's retiring this weekend. You can find this paint on our Trading Paints channel. By the time this video releases Monday at 12 o'clock, it will be uploaded to our Trading Paints, so you can go on there and download it for free. If you're interested in any paints that we've been doing, there's a lot here on the channel that I do on my own, do for my own, and for others. You can hit me up, or you can find us on Facebook or on Discord. I'll drop those links below. Discord link likes to expire, so if it does, and if you're not able to get in, just shoot me a message and I'll send you a new one. But get a little look at the paint here and in the beautiful sunset as C-Fixed is headed to Kentucky Speedway this week. Our qualifying hot lap comes on lap number 2. Honestly, I think you might be able to obtain the hot lap on lap number 1. It is possible. There's not much of a variation between lap number 1 and lap number 2 that I've found. I tried a couple different combinations. Actually, I'm leaving everything generic here for the qualifying lap, but for the race trim I do jump up to a 16:1. That's just my preference for all 1.5s. Most speedway tracks we go up to a 16, and I'd say the brake bias whenever we were running most of the time in Kentucky in the past, we're somewhere in the mid-50s. It has to get really tight, so that's where we're going to be. I've got a couple little variations, ways to run this track, and what you'll probably see us doing this week as we're racing that I'll show you after we do the qualifying lap. But you can see here, I came out and I just completely threw a lap away and got ready to set up for our hot lap. We'll jump up here. So on our way to our hot lap, which is lap number 2, mostly wide open here through 3 and 4. Just tap the purple throttle just a little. If you keep it held down wide open, it will try to spin on entry, lose the nose of the truck. So really just want to get back in it, keep the wheel as steady as you can here through 3 and 4. Don't want to turn it too much, don't want to scrub too much speed. Kind of look at this here, you can see it kind of runs downhill. Use that downhill portion to get a little bit momentum, barely dipping down below the yellow line. You don't want to go all the way down here, it gets really bumpy. I didn't really see a big gain from dipping below, but if you do it just right, just barely get below the yellow, you can cut just enough to gain some lap time. You can see the truck bounce there. You want to run straight up, aiming at the black, the Cup Series logo, and that's kind of, you can't get all the way out to that spot. You can see here we're about a truck width off of that. You don't want to get all the way out, because then you won't be able to hit your entry, because you are going to be wide open for 1 or 2. The biggest thing you want to do when you set up your entry of 1 and 2, and I'll go back and let you watch the lap in full here, so after we get done breaking it down, but doing it kind of backwards here. We're a little bit rusty. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but going to drop down. The biggest thing you want to look at is this black seam, the sealer, strip of asphalt, whatever you want to call it, that runs around the track. You want to make sure that you get your right side tires down underneath that. The truck, you can run wide open here, and that's one reason that I was saying that lap 2 may be easier than lap 1, because it is very loose there if you don't hit that just right on lap number 1, but you can do it. Now, coming through 3 and 4, you're going to be looking here. There's a Toyota sign, and then there's the Z-Max sign. You're going to start turning off of that. You're going to cross over. It's hard to count, so you really just got to feel it out. I can show you a reference here and what I see out the windshield and what to look for, but in live time, it's so fast, it's hard to, it's really hard to count them seams. But there's 1, 2, 3, and as you're crossing over there, you see I'm lifting out, and then by the time we reach this black sealer here, we want to be to the yellow line. We want to be at the bottom, and this black sealer here is going to be our point to where we start picking up the throttle again. So pick up the throttle. If you can get in it, go ahead all the way. There were, I think the lap 1 that I ran my hot lap, it was like 0.003 of a second slower. I had to feather the throttle a little more, which makes me think that maybe lap 1 could be quicker. Use every bit of the track you can, work your way all the way out to the wall. You got all this room. That's why you can really get in the throttle. Since you got all this room to let the truck work up. Trying to pinch it, it just scrubs speed, so you can just use all the track. And then when the truck will turn back down, turn it down the hill. 30.097. I think most of your top split races, this is what your pole's going to be, or competitive with the pole. I think you might see people get in the mid-range there on the 30s, like closer to a 0.05 or a 0.06, especially if you can make lap 1 stick. But I'll back it up here and let you watch the entire thing here in 1 speed. But yeah, if you can make lap 1 stick, I do think that it'll be beneficial to be just a hair faster, because it was pretty well even, and I was fighting it a little. Track temperature here is like 67 degrees. Air temp 66. I'm sure the most sessions will be the same. It seems like it's going to be a cooler race headed into the darkness. Then after we watch this lap, I'll break down and kind of show you what we're doing for race trim and how we're driving the truck. I feel like your first few laps are going to be like speedway racing. It's going to be really close, momentum based. You're going to want to hold track position. It'll probably be harder to pass later on as the race goes on. But we'll jump into a lap here. Jump here and watch lap number 13. I think early on you're going to want to try to hold it wide open in 1 and 2 just to maintain your track position, and where you're going to be racing so tight. If you have any way at all that you can lift and still maintain, I would recommend doing so. I think that's what I'll be doing, just trying my best to lift, and I'll show you what I'm doing when I am lifting. Turns 3, I'm starting to lift as we come off the wall and work our way down to the bottoms, unlike the qualifying run. Biggest thing, if I remember, in the past racing at Kentucky, and if it rings true to how Kentucky has always been, it's going to be very important to get the truck to the bottom of the track in turns 3 and turns 4. If any way at all you can get the truck down to the bottom, it's going to save that right front and then prevent from turning the wheel too much as you come up off the exit. That's why you want to use all the width of the track you have there and all that room coming off of 3 and 4. See, we're getting ourselves down underneath, getting to the yellow line, throttling up slowly, using all the banking, and you can see the wheel input I have there. I'm not turning the wheel too far. Just kind of letting momentum carry us and keeping us from turning that wheel and scrubbing too much. We don't want to burn the right front off. Let's jump ahead to another lap here. See, now this is what I'm doing here if I can lift. Now you can look at our lap times compared to what we were doing here versus a lap where we were wide open. It's about a half a second slower. Now I've done that to kind of replicate what it would be like later on in a run, but you'll want to kind of lift early, as little as you have to, but as much as you can. If that makes any sense, to kind of lift before you get the truck and the nose settled here underneath this black seam. Hold the bottom, let it sit on that right rear as much as you can. I feel like it's going to burn the right front off this week. And as the week goes on, it may prove us wrong, and that's okay. But I feel like it's going to play true to normal Kentucky. And then how we're lifting here, 3 and 4, lifting, getting down to the bottom, slowly getting back in the gas. I don't think you're going to want to lift, just completely lift off the throttle like a light switch, we say. You're going to lift slowly and just slowly get out of the gas. Keep it from slamming the nose on the ground. Okay, we're lifting again. Now I've done this one a little different too, and you can see it's a lot slower, but I'm just, lap times may not be accurate, but it's just the idea of what we're doing is to generate what it's going to be later on in a run and when the tires get worn if you get those long green flag runs. But going into turns number 3, you can see I'm dragging the brake just a little. You just want to brake whenever you, and it's kind of the transition to kind of look for what we're doing here. You see how we drug the brake. So going from lap 15, I think it's a good example here. Going from lap 15, 16 to 17. When you start getting strung out and you can't run wide open, you start lifting, as you see in lap 16. So when you go through 1 and 2, and you can't get down to the bottom like that. You're going to start lifting before getting the nose settled and getting it under there. So lift as much as you have to. And that's kind of the example we're showing there. And then same thing here. When it gets to the point that lifting early doesn't get you down to the bottom, that's why we jump over here to lap number 17 and showing what we're doing. We're lifting, we're dragging brake, and we're just making sure we get to the bottom here. Now, as I've seen people later on trying to carry their momentum and run at the top, it might be beneficial if you're not burning that right front off of it. That's something we'll have to try to see as the race goes on. It's hard to simulate momentum whenever you're not racing around others with them running their lines. So just an idea of 3 different laps there back to back to back. You see the time their variation, and don't pay too much attention to that. Like I said again, I just kind of, it's a reference of what you can do for your lap. Versus what the time's actually, going to be. It's just to kind of look at and see what you need to be doing. But I feel like if you're going to be saving right front this week, I hope not. I hope it's a little more balanced, but Kentucky has never really played into that since I've been running it. So we'll see how it is this week. But the air temperature doesn't have my hopes up. But I do look forward to this week. I think it'll be fun. Coming out of Phoenix, where you're probably getting a lot of cautions and stuff. It's short tracks have been, they've been something else here as of late. Can't sit here and brag on those too much, but again, check out the Trading Paints page that we have. We put a lot of stuff on there, and we do a lot of customs for people. Our biggest hits, 2 for $40, you get 2 paint schemes for $40. So like if I were to make you this paint, just say this is a custom paint that you wanted, and we could do it and do 2 different renditions, so we can change some things up. You get 2 paint schemes for the price of what most charge for one. So that's our biggest hit. We've had a lot of success with that. So hit me up and make a paint, or check out what we've got for free on Trading Paints. Hope you guys enjoy the video this week. If all goes well, we're going to start trying to post these qualifying breakdowns again. Post them every Monday, have them automatically scheduled to come out on Mondays at 12 o'clock. That way most of you guys can take your lunch breaks, watch the video, and be prepared for the first race of the week come Monday night. Give me some feedback, comments, if other things you guys want to see as we continue to hopefully do these things that I can start doing again. But hope you guys have a great week, and maybe we'll see you out on the track.